Hello, I'm Louise from Agriland and I'm here today with Vice President of the ICMSA, Eamon Carroll. With animals housed earlier this autumn than usual and persistent rain for the last number of weeks, a lot of farmers in the country are facing concerns around fodder. Eamon, what have you been hearing from farmers on the ground and indeed from members of the ICMSA?
Yeah, look, there is a number of calls starting to come in now to the office. They have been there for some time, but they are starting to ramp up at this stage. Calls coming in that fodder is getting very, very scarce on farm. There is fodder available in certain parts of the country, but there is a deficit in other parts. But quality in particular is an issue in certain parts. You know, you have particularly the dairy cows are in need of quality forage at this stage. So that is getting challenging, you know, to get good quality fodder into cows at the present moment in time.
Yeah, and what parts of the country would you say are the worst off?
It seems to be the south east of the country. It seems to be the area that's starting to show that bit of a deficit, which is a bit unusual really, because they would always have been that side of the country that would have always had a surplus, but they seem to have that deficit this time of the year. So
Yeah.
just rather unusual.
And here in Thurles, what has your own experience been like?
Our own experience for the first time ever, we've actually ran out of fodder. That never happened to us in our entire life. So why is that? It isn't that we have increased numbers or anything like that. It is predominantly down to, you know, weather events last year. Last year was a very challenging year in terms of trying to grow grass. We got good weather in the month of June, but after that it has been raining nearly constantly since. So going into the back end of the year, that wedge of grass was never in front of cows when you start looking at farms around here. But really what happened was in the month of October, the droplets that were falling would seem to be a hell of a lot heavier than they had been in any other year. Normally in this part of the country, we would never have been going in until the 20th plus of November at any time. Last year, we had everything housed on the 23rd of October. So it was a full month earlier than any other year that was ever in my lifetime.
Yeah. And have you got to put cattle out on the land now, or what is your situation?
We have, only as of last Saturday there now, we were holding back all the time to see whether conditions would be more favourable to letting out stock. Saturday, Sunday was A-OK, so we chanced it. We let out the calved cows. Ground conditions are very challenging at the moment, but I'm going to be very reluctant on trying to put them back in because we've them sheds washed out now at this stage. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be letting them back in again. So look, if we do have to, we will. But if weather conditions stay the way it is, we'll have no choice but to house again, I'd say, within the next day or two.
Really? Okay. And what do you think then are the long-term effects of that? I mean, it's going to cost farmers down the line and in summertime even, in terms of finance and that type of thing.
Yeah, the long-term ramifications of it is going to be felt through the year. So what we would be looking for very much so is a strong milk price going into the year, because debts are high from, you know, quite a number of farms. Like, I mean, I know many farms have been buying fodder to extend their own situation. They would have been buying that maybe from the 1st of January on.
Okay.
So you have that, and feed costs are high. So look, that's one side of the things that can be done, you know, that we, as I say, we need a strong milk price. But the other side of it is we need help from the government as well.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, financial supports. I know in France, the government there have put in packages there to help their own farmers, reduced interest rates for low interest loans for farmers, you know, that are in bother. So, you know, we need assistances like that. And certainly it's going to be the next 10, 12 days is really going to tell the tale.
Yeah.
Because, as I say, fodder is getting scarce. Last year, the government had done a fodder support scheme. While it was welcome at the time, one of the things that I'd see in it and that I don't like is putting a scheme in place to benefit some farmers and not more.
Okay.
We're all in this together, be it, whether you're dairy, whether you're beef, whether you're tillage or whatever else not. If those that need supports should get the supports, and I don't like excluding anyone from that. Like, you just take the tillage sector. We rely heavily on the tillage sector, also, for straw and for grain and that. So you just look at the challenging weather that we're getting at the present moment in time. There has been huge challenges in the tillage sector as well in terms of getting seed into the ground. There's anything between 10 to 90% of winter crops not sown.
Okay.
So that's going to have an effect on us as well. So, as I say, whatever scheme is going to be put in place, if there is one to be put in place, open it to all sectors and don't be excluding anybody.
And I suppose over the last number of weeks and the last number of months, really, we've seen a lot of protests from farmers and there's a lot of frustration out there. What are some of the biggest pressures outside of fodder that you've seen facing farmers, and what have you been hearing from members that they really need support from?
The rules and regulations that are being dictated by Europe on us. I do get the fact that water quality is going in the wrong direction. It's not stabilising enough in the way that it should be. We understand that, but there comes a point in time when you can over-regulate any business, and when you do that, you are going to the knock-on effect of that is going to be the next generations. And I've a young lad there myself that is in college. If he actually sits down and takes a look at the regulation, and he's no different to anybody else. I know the rest of the lads in his own college are saying the same thing. That if you overregulate it, you're going to damage the next generation, and we've to be mindful of that.